Hello, Doctor.
Welcome back after the very long break, relatively to our usual period of breaks. I think I hope you had kind of enjoyed this exercise, and now we will share with you. Mukhtar will share the screen, starting with
Yes, give me a second.
Helen. Helen was a Tanta.
Yep.
Yes, Tante.
Mukhtar, share screen, please.
Okay.
Zoom على طنطا. So these are the four cities. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Helen.
For Tanta, it was a very fruitful discussion, really, and very argument. A lot of debates between the people in the group, but we can see the main point that the educational facilities and the education quality, they put a high rate for those principle and indicator. And for the gender equality too, I surprised that all the women in Tanta feel comfort and feel like they have the right and they feel they have the equality. But the problem there is related to the water and sanitation. However, although there is a lot of area that enjoy access to water and access to sanitation and sewage system, but there is inefficient and also unsafe drinking water. These are the main problem, and also related to climate change. There is no policies taking there or raising awareness about climate change. Those are the main missing parts, and that's all. And for Tanta people, if you want to add any point, you are most welcome.
Yeah, I think it's fine. We can go for the next city.
Okay, should you start, Hamdi? Mansoura?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, Mansoura. Yeah, try to show me the zoom up. Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, so there is noise. Okay, for the Mansoura, I think that it was really a great and fruitful conversation between me and the group, and from what we see in the Mansoura, we can see that there is a high level of gender equality. As women there, they have a good standards of equality, and they can work, and there is no discrimination for all the people. However, they are the gender or the sex or the maybe the essence of the people, and they have a good quality education. And they think that teachers, they have also a good quality of education there. However, in good health and well-being, that still needs some improvement. I think that it's a very, very low standards of good health and well-being, as well as the infrastructure there, because they are complaining about the existence of pure clean water. And from the other cities, they have a very low standards of clean water. However, also in zero hunger, they have a good condition, including also no poverty, because there is a lot of people in a good standard qualities, and there is no gap between the rich people and lower income people. However, also in the climate and the climate and the climate change and the awareness about them, they are still suffering, that they don't have the awareness. And then if the people know about climate change, it will be the people from the higher education or the people involved in the process of the awareness about the climate change. About if you are talking about the public and the local residents of the city, they are still suffering from this awareness. That's for the Mansoura. If there is someone also want to add something, it's all almost welcome.
Okay. Asma, should you move to Kafr Sheikh or?
Yeah, sure. So in give me a second. Yeah, in Kafr Sheikh, let's start with sorry. Yeah, with the poverty scale, like they didn't seem they like we were discussing up until 2030, and they didn't seem that there will be like much of a problem when it comes 2030. But for now, the poverty rates are not that high, and the gap in the future is promising, but like there is like some poverty. And when food and hunger, it was very up high on the scale, because like they provide mostly their own food, and they provide for themselves, and they breed like poultry and stuff. In terms of sustainability, in most of the indicators, like sustainability was low on scale. Even in some cases where sustainability is high, the awareness that it's being implemented is low. So they can take their
just a small remark, these are targets, these are not the indicators, because there are other indicators each target. So we are working on the targets level.
Yeah, I apologize. So in the like they can go in a sustainable method, but they would not know that it's sustainable. And sometimes the government would implement sustainable methods, like the lightings in the street are solar powered and so on, but there is no awareness that you can do that at home, or that you should take your own bag when shopping and so on. But people do that culturally, sort of say. And when it comes to health and well-being, death rates are not that high, because the roads are being maintained most of the time. Also, education is like facilities are being built. In terms of gender equality, it's also moderate. Clean water is also moderate. Affordable and clean energy, like they have energy, but they know that like on the long run it will not remain affordable. On the economic level and financial level, it was ranked a little low. I guess. And also when it comes to participation, it was always very low, that like things are being implemented as they are. There is no not even like voting, or like there is no participation whatsoever. That's it.
Okay. Should I move to Berlin?
If there any comments، أي تعليقات يا شباب؟ موافقين على الكلام اللي طلع ده، ولا في أي تحفظات أو تعليقات معينة من الثلاث مدن المصرية؟ مفيش أي حد قال أي حاجة؟
وأنا عندي تعليق. هو يعني هو الفكرة إيه، إن إحنا لما جينا نشوف الحاجات دي على سكيل المدينة بتاعتنا. Should I speak in English? Sorry. When we tried to apply these targets on the scale of our city, it was very hard to decide. First of all, because there's no transparency in the policies that the governorate is following in order to achieve these targets. So maybe there are some projects that we don't know about them, but what we see is opposite of what the SDGs are implying for, or what they're targeting for. So this is why maybe in Mansoura the numbers were really low, because we were judging based on the things we see in real life, like the actions that are happening in real life. And also I think that like the targets that are put are so far beyond what we what the current situation is. Like I don't know if other cities have felt that or not, but اللي هو الواحد حاسس ان الحاجات دي احنا لسه بدري جدا عقبال ما نوصل لها يعني.
ادي مثال. Can you give example?
Example like renewable energy or like awareness of the people. Like we are so far beyond ان احنا اصلا نفكر ان التارجت ده هيحصل امتى. يعني احنا لسه في اساسيات بنحاول نحققها ان بس يعني ده بس يعني
خليني أعلق على النقطة دي. يعني هو كويس ان احنا دلوقتي اللي احنا بنحاول نعمله ان احنا نشوف دلوقتي احنا فين. فهو اول خطوة عشان نقدر ان احنا نتحرك لقدام لازم نعرف احنا فين. فلو احنا دلوقتي عارفين ان مثلا موضوع الرينيوبل انرجي ده مش موجود اصلا خالص على الخريطه، ما فيش اي حد اصلا بيفكر فيه، فده مؤشر لينا ان احنا لا يا جماعه اتس اباوت تايم، يعني احنا لازم نبدا نفكر فيه دلوقتي والا هنبقى متاخرين قوي. فهو ما فيش ما يمنع ان احنا صحيح الموضوع فيه اولويات وصحيح فيه حاجات المفروض تيجي اهم قبل حاجات، بس ده لا يمنع ان احنا نبدا نتحرك برضو في الخطوات الثانيه، في الاتجاهات الثانيه للحاجات اللي احنا اصلا ما بنفكرش فيها دي عشان يحصل تطور. لكن لو احنا فضلنا مهملينها تماما مش هنتحرك فيها، هنفضل برضو لسه ورا. فهي نقطة الاعتراف بالواقع او بالتشخيص الموقف الحالي دي نقطة مهمة عشان نقدر نتعامل معاه. لو احنا قلنا ان كل حاجة تمام وكله زي الفل، طب خلاص ما احنا هنفضل زي ما احنا محلك سر ومفيش حاجة هتتحسن. فهو الهدف هنا ان احنا دي اول خطوة بنشتغل بيها قبل ما نبتدي بقى نشوف احنا بقى هنعمل ايه بقى. هنلاقي ان احنا لو في ايدينا ان احنا نحط اولويات يبقى نركز على النقط اللي هي ضعيفة عندنا، دي اولوياتنا الاولى. بس اذا كان
زي ما حضرتك شرحت في البرزنتيشن اللي هو بعد كده ابدا احدد كل مشكله، اولا احدد اولويات المشكلات وبعدين ابدا اشوف الستيك هولدرز المسؤولين عن كل مشكله وابدا اعمل اكشن بلان او خطوات ان انا احل حاجه يعني.
تمام. طب هو مفيش حد ترجم الكلمتين اللي انا قلتهم دول؟ ممكن حد يكتبهم باختصار كده بالانجليزي بس عشان امينه از sending امنه
We are staying together, so امنه عليها.
طيب برلين.
Okay, so that's unfair starting with Berlin after like I can keep the screen like that. But let's discuss it from the point of view of the participants. For most of the things are on high quality or high standards for the Berlin case. But it's when it comes to the, for example, for non-poverty, so it's a high standard according to the participant point of view. So also for zero hunger, the main issue was with the sustainable food production. So they are depending on that it's in the bigger scale, not on smaller scale. For the quality of education, for example, it was all high standards except the quality of teachers, because they are in need for more teachers now. And also for gender equality, the end of all forms of discrimination is it's in low standards, but according to the equality for women and equal for participation have higher standards. Moving to like sustainable cities and the communities, most of them are access and equal for housing is a little bit in high standards as well. Moving to the climate actions, adaptive to a capacity and the resilience is a little bit in low standards according to the participant point of view. And yeah, that's mainly it for Berlin for now. And if you want to add something from the participants that shared with me the breakout room.
just that the general situation differs a little bit from the situation right now because of the pandemic. For example, a lot of the small businesses are suffering, so the situation is not as good as before, and also the violence in the households has increased and things like this, but it was difficult to show the general situation and how it is today now.
Yes, thanks, Amina, for this remark. Actually, this is something that we discussed also within the Berlin group, because the situation when it comes to the assessment of the city in general is different when it comes to the current COVID-19 or Corona time. And I think it's should be the same, or it could be the same for every city, like for any city, when it comes to the negative impact of the new regulations. Yeah, so that's a normal observation, or let's say consideration, that cities are performing differently in the current moment, like in the current period of time, let's say. Okay, so we can stop at that point and move to the next exercise. I think I will be sharing my screen to